Is it just me, or do the Yankees not feel like the Yankees anymore? They've only been crowned champions once since their iconic three-peat from 98 to 2000. They have many aging players such as Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, and Anthony Rizzo eating up the majority of their payroll, had their worst campaign since they went 76 and 86 all the way back in 1992, and it seemed like their fans were calling for the firing of their longtime GM Brian Cashman all season long. But with an offseason that has included bringing in MVP candidate Juan Soto, along with Alex Verdugo and Trent Grisham to help revamp their outfield, and Marcus Stroman to complement Garrett Cole in the rotation, could this finally be the year they reclaim the title as a premier franchise in baseball, or will they find themselves towards the bottom in the AL East once again? Firstly, I want to highlight the way the roster was configured for 2023, and as you can see, there were many aging sluggers in key positions that underperformed. For example, injuries cost Anthony Rizzo over 60 games, and when he was healthy, I say in quotation marks, he posted an OPS just above 700, resulting in the first time he finished with a below 100 OPS plus since 2011. He is entering his final season of a 2-year, $40 million deal. Next up, Giancarlo Stanton. While he did hit 24 homers in just 101 games, his entire slash line fell off a cliff, including a batting average below the Mendoza line, an OPS below 700, and an OPS plus under 100 for the first time in his 14-year career. He is entering year 10 of a 13-year, $325 million deal. DJ LeMahieu has never been able to come close to replicating the success found in 2020 when he hit 364 with an over 1,000 OPS, and has instead finished with 3 straight campaigns between a 711 and 734 OPS. He is entering year 4 of a 6-year, $90 million deal. And finally, probably the most disappointing of all, Josh Donaldson. In 2023, he once again dealt with injuries that limited his availability, and when he did play, it was of replacement level, including just a 142 average in 33 games before being released and signing with the Milwaukee Brewers. He also had a pretty expensive contract. These aging sluggers accounted for a third of the team's total at-bats and accumulated just a 230 average, 305 OBP, and a 414 slugging for an OPS of 719. Not great, and the thing is, all but Donaldson are under contract for 2024, much to the unpleasantness of Brian Cashman, who said that he expects Giancarlo Stanton to find himself on the injured list once again this season. To me, it's a bit of a strange thing to say about one of your players, regardless of if you're frustrated with their lack of performance. But let's move on, because there was another area in the Yankees lineup that lacked, which was left-handed bats. For example, on opening day, the Yankees lineup boasted just one lefty in Anthony Rizzo and a switch hitter in Oswaldo Cabrera. But when Rizzo went down, their lineup lost the only lefty power bat and fielded lineups oftentimes looking extremely righty dominant, like in this game on August 5th where the only lefties were Jake Bauers and Ben Rortvedt. In 2023, Bauers hit just above 200 with an OPS below 700 in 84 games, while Rortvedt on the other hand hit 118 with a 461 OPS in 32 games. Yeah, not ideal. This lack of lefties in the lineup hurt them tremendously, because while the opposing teams were taking advantage of the short right field porch, the Yankees couldn't. They genuinely had no lefties on the roster that could help exploit it. Because of this glaringly obvious area in which they lacked, they needed to go out and get it this offseason, and to their credit, they did, acquiring Juan Soto and Trent Grisham for a haul including Michael King, Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez, Drew Thorpe, and Kyle Higashioka. It was a huge package to get 1 year of Soto's services, but boy do they need him. As mentioned, the Yankees lacked that left-handed power bat, and with his addition, their 2 and 3 hitters of Aaron Judge and Juan Soto gives them one of the scariest partnerships in all of baseball. And as mentioned, they finally have that left-handed bat besides Rizzo to take advantage of the short right field porch, something we really haven't seen any Yankee players do in the past few seasons, because the club prioritized opposite field hitting power righties such as Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, DJ LeMahieu, and Gary Sanchez. Soto could get a help from this feature at Yankee Stadium, because although Baseball Savant has his home run total at 8 less if he played all his games in the Bronx last season, we could see him prioritize pull hitting even more in 2024, which has already been on the upward trajectory of his for the past few seasons. Moving on, their second biggest acquisition this offseason, Marcus Stroman. When I first heard the news of his signing, it shocked me. After all the past few years, he hasn't had many nice things to say about the franchise or the fans. For example, on Twitter, he's talked about how fickle Yankee fans are, or how he called the fans hilarious, miserable, and how they're going to get coal in their stockings. There were honestly so many more instances of him bad-mouthing the fans, so if you're a Yankee fan watching, please let me know what the general mood around him going to the Bronx is, because as a player, you know what you're getting. That being a mid to high 3 ERA and a sinker that helps contribute to his extremely above average ground ball percentage at 57.9 for his career, while the average pitcher yields just 44.6. He looks poised to be the number 2 in the rotation, backing up Cole, who didn't get much help from the rest of his supporting cast in 2023. In fact, not a single other starter for the Yankees posted an ERA below 4.5, with Luis Severino and Carlos Rodon having inflated figures higher than 6. To be completely honest with you, I don't know how this team won 82 games last season, because doing all this research and learning more and more about everything that went wrong for the team, it's a shock they won over 75 games, especially when you factor in the AL East had 3 playoff teams, and the Red Sox, who, let's be honest, probably could have competed in either of the central divisions. That's why come July, I wouldn't be surprised if the team is once again buyers at the deadline and geared up to make a postseason run because of the sheer improvement they've made in multiple key areas they previously lacked. But I will say, on the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised if we're back here next offseason talking about the exact same problems that have hindered them for the past few years. And if so, I don't know how Aaron Boone or Brian Cashman will be able to keep their jobs. After all, we're talking about the evil empire, the Bronx Bombers, the team that is one of the most distinguished and recognizable franchises in world sports. They're not allowed to have seasons like they just did without change. And if they keep this up, then their 15-year title drought will continue to rise, and if they don't win before 2029, it will be the longest championship drought in Yankees history. That wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like to help the channel reach more like-minded people, as well as subscribing in order to not miss any more awesome videos just like this one. Alright, thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next one.